Hey guys, I'm RiggyRob, and welcome to Disco Elysium. So, Pimmsy is busy doing some homework in Xenoblade 3, aka she needs to do some more grinding and exploring, and I decided I'd like to play a game that I've wanted to play for a while. So, Disco Elysium came out in 2019, we are playing the PS4 version, which is Disco Elysium The Final Cut, and this is a text-heavy, reading-heavy detective game. And it's been mentioned on many a Game of the Year list since it first came out, and I figured now's a good time as any to try and actually play it. So I've tried out a little monitoring of audio. I've left everything as they are for defaults. I have turned on streamer mode, and I've turned on detective mode and tutorial agent. I haven't turned on hardcore mode because I figured for a first playthrough, I want to keep that off for the time being. So, as I said, this is a text-heavy, reading-heavy game. I will be going through the character creator and all of the dialogue options, so I just might as well go through them now. So, thoughts. Active thoughts alter dialogue options. Thought bonuses differ for research and completion. Tools. Substances can be administered during dialogue. They are context-sensitive. Equip them before use. Time passes when picking new dialogue options. Read books to pass time quicker. Gain experience by completing tasks or by exploring. Leveling up grants you skill points. Use skill points to unlock skills or unlock or forget thoughts. White skill checks can be re-rolled. And skill checks, explore options or level up to try again. Red skill checks are permanent. So the way this game works is it's like a tabletop RPG, so you have stats in particular areas, and you get checks against those stats. Now I've never really played one of these tabletop RPGs, so this is my first foray into this kind of game. It's going to be interesting to see how I can monitor and maneuver around the different skill checks. So it says white can be done again, red skills are permanent. It also has a thing in the bottom right corner, equip a flashlight in low light areas, makes sense. Skill points can also buy new thought cabinet slots or get old thoughts. The map tab in your journal lists all the white checks you can reattempt. Pick dialogue options that begin with hold on or wait to gain additional information before the conversation moves on. Don't be afraid to say weird things. People are more forgiving to persons of power, like police officers. So, this is a detective game, we are playing as a police officer. Need to do something behind Lieutenant Kitsuragi's back. Sneak out after he's gone to sleep. Short on money, equip a plastic bag, collect bottles and sell them at Frit. Most checks have secret difficulty modifiers. Talking to the right person can reopen a closed white check. Red checks can be tried only once. Failed white checks can be retried by increasing the relevant skill. Can't put more points in a skill. Drugs raise learning caps, but they're bad for your health. Revachol is pronounced Revachol. Araignée is pronounced Araignée. Classier is pronounced Classier. And again, buying a book passes time quickly. If you see a container you can't open, equip a pry bar. Most people settle for bed after 9 or not long after. At night the streets are emptier. By 2, everyone's asleep. You can sleep after 9. Sleeping heals all your health and morale. Police work is tough. Take breaks, talk to strangers, explore. Low in health, put points in endurance. Low in morale, put points into volition. And equip a flashlight. So yes, it mentions a good few tips there that I will probably forget as I play, but if I'm low in health, put stuff into endurance, morale into volition. And yes, because we're playing as a police officer, we will get different dialogue options based on how we as an officer portray ourselves to our, people we're talking to, interrogating witnesses, suspects, stuff like that. So it seems like we have a health and morale system, so kind of like Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley, going to sleep will restore all that. And yes, the time of day is important. Now again, it says there's experience. I don't know if there's side quests or, optional things to do. There might be. But yeah. I've heard this is a good game, and I wanted to play it for a while, so let's get started, shall we? And of course, the first thing to do is to create the character. So they give you 3 defaults here. Thinker, extremely intelligent, very bad with people, knows interesting facts, comes up with original ideas. Sensitive, very psychological, a magnetic personality but unstable, might begin to lose his mind. And physical, extremely physical, interacts with the world through his body, gets things done, but dumb as a rock. Now, I think it's probably best to create our own character here. And you can put points into these different areas, so I'm just putting everything down to 1 to begin with. And we'll go through these as well. So, intellect is raw brain power, how smart you are. Psyche is sensitivity, how emotionally intelligent you are. Physique is your musculature, how strong you are. And motorics, how your senses, how agile you are. So, with this, in a tabletop game like this, it's generally better to be good at a specific area rather than trying to be average at everything. And if I were to try and base this off of my own perception of myself, I would say that I'm more intellectual and maybe more sensual in terms of motorics and less on the physique side. But let's see how many points we get to play with. So I'll start off with 4 in intellect for the time being. I'll leave physique at 2. Psyche, I guess we'll go to 2 as well. And then motorics, we can go up to 4. So we got 4, 2, 2, 4. Now, as I said, it's usually better to, be good at a specific area. So I think what I'll do is I'll put intellect up to 5, and I might change psyche to be 1, motorics to be good. I mean, 5, 1, 2, 4 seems to fit myself, or at least how I perceive myself. And it gives me a good opportunity to go through all the intellectual skill checks. Maybe not the psyche stuff, so I don't know what people are feeling at a particular point. As a person, I don't think I'm that weak. Like, I'm not terrible, but certainly not, the highest. And then agile, I would perceive myself as being relatively agile, sense-wise at least. So yeah, I think I'm happy with this. 5, 1, 2, 4. And now we get to choose our signature skill. So there's a lot of skills to choose from, and we'll go through them. First one, logic. Wield raw intellectual power. Deduce the world. Cool for analysts, pure rationalists, and obviously logicians. Logic urges you to analyze the living daylights out of the case. It enables you to piece evidence together, detect inconsistencies in statements, and impress everyone with your astonishing conclusions. It's the bread and butter of many a detective. At high levels, logic will be able to solve even the most complicated puzzle. You'll be very proud and thus susceptible to intellectual flattery, for those blinded by their own brilliance often miss important clues. With low levels of logic, you're going to have a hard time solving even the simplest puzzle. Even if you find the pieces, good luck putting them together. So this already sounds like a fairly good option, mainly just to, even if it's just from a speeding up the playthrough kind of thing, making sure that my character can solve a puzzle is quite important. But we'll leave that for now. We'll see what other options we've got. Encyclopedia. Call upon all your knowledge, produce fascinating trivia. Cool for thinkers, historians, and trivia freaks. Encyclopedia makes you a know-it-all, turning your mind into a database of facts. It enables you to draw on these facts innately, offering a wealth of background knowledge to all things related and unrelated to your case. Who knows when the history of cigarette brands will provide the breakthrough you need to arrest a murderer, or when knowledge of pre-revolutionary guns might save a life. At high levels, Encyclopedia shares this wealth of knowledge to an almost overwhelming degree. While it may give you crucial breakthroughs, it will more often clutter your mind with useless tidbits. With low levels of Encyclopedia though, you'll be forced to work with only the clues in front of you. Without any background knowledge, copying is going to be tough stuff. Now, based on how my character is currently built, working with just the stuff in front of me should be fine, because if I have high logic, I can solve puzzles, therefore I don't need background knowledge. So for me, this doesn't seem as useful as logic, and having a high encyclopedia kind of is more of a detriment because it's going to fill my brain with all the stuff that I don't need to know about. So, next one is rhetoric. Practice the art of persuasion. Enjoy rigorous intellectual discourse. Cool for ideologues, conversationalists, and would-be politicians. Rhetoric urges you to debate, make intellectual discourse, nitpick, and win. It enables you to break down arguments and hear what people are really saying. You'll spot fallacies as soon as they're used. What exactly did the waiter leave out of their testimony? What was the dancer trying to divert you from? Was that double entendre intended, or did you just get an accidental lead? At high levels, rhetoric will make you an impressive political beast, one whose beliefs are impenetrable, which is to say, one whose mind will not change, one who will calcify. With low rhetoric, though, you'll have a hard time shooting down any argument. Nailing people to their testimonies will be nigh impossible. So, myself, as a person, I am not good at persuasion, you know, being a politician of any kind. So I don't think this would make sense for a detective that is based on myself. This would not be my own signature skill. But I can see how it would be very, very useful. Next one, drama. Play the actor, lie and detect lies. Cool for undercover cops, thespians of the stage, and psychopaths. Drama urges you to treat the world as a stage and on it to perform. It enables you to lie, to concoct the most elaborate and wonderful stories, to take on ingenious personas and perform acts of stagecraft in an entertaining amalgam of faubery and deceit. As well, it enables you to see through would-be actors and their false antics. If they lie, you'll know immediately. At high levels, drama may render you an insufferable thespian, one prone to hysterics and bouts of paranoia. For to know the world as a stage is to know that truth is a vanity. However, with low drama, you cannot lie, or discern when others lie. A cop who can't do either is a cop who's soon going to be lying 6 feet under. So, the ability to detect lies, again, incredibly useful for a detective. I'm not a good liar in real life. I feel like I could tell if people are lying, in general, but being able to lie as well, I don't know. So this would be an average for me. So far, I think logic is my signature skill, if I were to say that. Next one, conceptualization. Understand creativity and see art in the world. Cool for creatives, psychedelic fanciers, and critics. Conceptualization has a special role it wants you to play in this world, not the role of cop, but of art cop. It enables you to make fresh associations, to delve into world concepts from Jan Karp's postmodernist carpery to Revachol's arabesque architectural style didgeridoo, and even the concept of hardcore, and then, importantly, to add your own contribution to these works. At high levels, conceptualization makes you go big, perhaps too big. It is ostentatious, demanding grand displays. Why live life when you can throw yourself into a live volcano? At low levels, however, you'll be unable to see the world in a creative light. You'll be unable to contribute to conversations in an art gallery. Only boring people invite you to their dust parties. Again, this is kind of similar to Encyclopedia. You don't necessarily need to see art in the world if you can see logic or truth or anything like that. And again, I'm kind of a more analytical, scientific person, so I'm not too bothered about, being able to see creativity and so on. And the last one for intellect is visual calculus. Reconstruct crime scenes, make laws of physics work for the law. Cool for forensic scientists, tactical fighters, and math-minded people. Visual calculus verses you not only in the laws of the state, but the laws of nature. It enables you to create virtual crime scene models in your mind's eye. You'll see how a bullet shattered the glass, and from that trace its trajectory with mathematical precision. You'll also count so many footprints, and at a glance discern shoe size and design, as well as the height, weight, and gender of the one who wore them. At high levels, visual calculus makes the world reveal its secrets to you, but you may be so absorbed in your mind diorama you don't notice as crooks steal your pants. However, at low levels, your mind's eye will be blind. Reconstructing crime scenes will be difficult without outside help. So again, I think this is a very useful skill. It's almost like the Sherlock Holmes being able to recreate what happened at the time of a crime. And as a detective, that's incredibly important. So far, logic or visual calculus are the ones to choose from. And we'll look through the rest of the skills, even though I might not choose them. So for psyche, volition. Hold yourself together and keep your morale up. Cool for sane people, well-adjusted cops, and the non-suicidal. Volition urges you to be a good guy, to others and to yourself. It enables you to resist temptation, be it in a bottle, between a pair of legs, or at the end of an iron barrel which promises oblivion. Volition gives you the will to finish the investigation, improving your morale, one of the 2 health pools in the game. At high levels, volition makes you hyper-sane. When you're about to get funky, it keeps you normal. It's a bit of a party pooper. At low levels, however, you'll have little morale. Without it, you'll be a profoundly unstable cop, falling apart at the seams as you make irreversible mistakes. So this is a kind of a, you want to have high volition just to make sure that you can actually continue. But it always seems a bit more fun to be, the unstable person. Like, the well-adjusted detective isn't as fun as the one that can go off the rails at any time. So, I will probably avoid volition. Inland Empire, hunches and gut feelings, dreams and waking life. Cool for dreamers, paranatural investigators, and mental creators. Inland Empire is the unfiltered wellspring of imagination, emotion, and foreboding. It enables you to grope your way through invisible dimensions of reality, gaining insight into that which sight can't see. What's really going? What do these enigmatic riddles mean for the world fate? At high levels, Inland Empire animates the inanimate. You'll have conversations with your clothing, conversations that may change the course of the investigation if you're not thrown in the loony bin first. With low Inland Empire, however, you'll be void of imagination and character. And then how will you shape the cosmos? I mean, talking to inanimate objects is fine in a personal context. Like, you often talk to yourself when you're doing things around the house, and you can, talk to a rubber duck when you're programming, for example. But otherwise, the lack of imagination is, again, something that I would say is it doesn't matter as much when you're dealing with the world that is right in front of you. So we'll not do Inland Empire. Empathy. Understand others and work your mirror neurons. Cool for judges of character, interviewers, and interrogators. Empathy breaks into the souls of others and forces you to feel what's inside. It enables you to notice social cues others may miss. Perhaps a hidden sadness you could coax out a little more, a strange joy from someone who should be bereaved, or a hidden resentment that you could return to harm you later. At high levels, empathy really puts you in other people's shoes. You'll cry for their sorrows, punch walls to relieve their angers, and be an even more unstable cop. With low empathy, however, you'll be an ungainly beast, unable to talk to anyone without upsetting them. Now, you're already playing as a detective, a cop, so chances are people are not going to be, rational and, fine with you in the first place. So upsetting them doesn't really change much, in my opinion. And I'm not that empathetic of a person as in real life. I mean, obviously I do have empathy, but, without, relating to my immediate personal family, friends, so on, it's like, other people can deal with their own problems in some ways. So, let's leave that. Authority. Intimidate the public and assert yourself. Cool for leaders, experts of psychological warfare, and respect junkies. Authority urges you to assert and reassert your dominance over those around you. It enables you to understand the power dynamics of groups of thugs, know how far you can push a perpetrator, and how to establish control of situations. At high levels, authority demands respect. Even a perceived slight could send you into knee-breaking mode. With low authority, however, you're forever in awkward situations, like when you suffer psychological breakdowns after you yell at teenagers, they laugh at you. So yes, as a detective, you need a certain level of authority, otherwise you just won't get anything done. So this might be something we need to focus on, these skills can be improved upon, I would assume. So maybe authority is one to work on in the psyche. But yeah, going into knee-breaking mode is like that's just a standard cop nowadays, isn't it? Okay. Esprit de corps. Connect to Station 41 and understand cop culture. Esprit de corps. Cool for cops, cop aficionados, and pretend cops. It's the very spirit of policing, the copgeist. It enables you to understand your blue-souled sisters and brothers, not only by picking up subtle signals from your partner, by witnessing flash sideways scenes as they play out in your precinct. At high levels, you'll be the very heart of the police force, not only willing and able, but obliged to take a bullet for your partner. However, without esprit de corps, you'll be flying blind, unable to understand discreet remarks colleagues make in high-stakes situations, remarks that might just save your life. Now with this, I already know you have a partner, which is Lieutenant Kitsuragi, so I have a feeling if I don't understand the rest of the cops in Station 41, Kitsuragi will be the one that will be able to say, you shouldn't do this because they won't like you for it, or they will steer me away from making a bad decision. And it goes back to the Sherlock Holmes comparison where Kitsuragi is basically Watson. So I don't think we need to have much esprit de corps. So the next one is suggestion. Charm men and women, play the puppet master. Cool for diplomats, charmers, and sociopaths. Suggestion urges a soft power approach. If people think they want what you want, you've already won. This skill enables you to implant ideas into the minds of others. You can make the citizens like you more. You can make gangsters turn on each other too. Many crime rings have been broken by just a little doubt, after all. At high levels, suggestion makes you affable to everyone, and more resistant to their charms in turn. But all that schmoozing and oozing charm will make you slimy, and you'll know it, even if no one else does. With low levels of suggestion, though, you'll have difficulty getting any kind of rapport with others. You'll be alone, both during the day and at night. So, with this, I mean, there's no downside to having high suggestion, it seems like. Like, even though you know you're schmoozing and oozing charm, and you're being slimy about it, that's like you can deal with your own problems in your own head. Oh, by the way, with this game, there are voices that talk to you in your head, so that is a real problem to deal with. Low suggestion, again, we've got Kitsuragi to play with, but yeah, maybe suggestion is one to keep high if we can. Okay, so physique. Take the blows, don't let the world kill you. Cool for fighters who can take a hit, lookouts who don't sleep, and human batteries. Endurance is your metabolism and circulatory system. It improves your health, one of the 2 health pools in the game. It enables to survive being a cop. Who cares if you can't aim a gun if you can take a few bullets? Why be afraid of drugs that hurt your health if you're a very, very healthy man? At high levels, endurance enables you to take a few knocks to the head, enjoy a greater quantity of drugs, and shake off a few cardiac arrests. It makes you a powerful man who looks down on the weaklings who can't keep up. However, cops with low endurance are likely to struggle. The body is frail already, and the flesh of a cop will often be tested. If it doesn't pass, it dies. So, to me, endurance more important than volition, just because, health is more important than morale. But if we're doing it based off of my own perception of myself, I feel like my endurance is relatively low. And in theory, there should be ways to avoid physical situations by utilizing the skills of intellect or motorics, perhaps. But yes, I don't know how the leveling system in this game works. Like, I don't know whether 6 is the maximum you can be. So it might be you get to 6 in logic and then you can't put any more points in logic, so you might as well focus on endurance, for example. But I guess we'll find out as we play. Pain threshold. Shrug off the pain, they'll have to hurt you more. Cool for unstoppable fighters, guys who won't die, and masochists. Pain threshold ignores damage so you can push on, bloodied and crawling to the bitterest end. It enables you to negate damage you would otherwise take, even mental pain, heartache, and loneliness. In fact, these things can become a thrill you seek out and perversely revel in. At high levels, pain threshold turns in on itself in a seriously unhealthy way, with full-on self-destructive behavior. With low pain threshold, however, you will suffer too easily. Even a slap from a teenager will make you whine and complain. I consider myself to have a fairly high pain threshold in terms of mental pain. I've never had to worry about physical pain that often, but I think of myself that I could probably deal with certain things and better than at the maximum or the minimum. And again, with this game, having too many points in a particular skill can be a problem because certain options will not be available for you, which is why the game is mentioning about high levels being unhealthy, low levels being unable to do things. So, physical instrument. Flex powerful muscles, enjoy healthy organs. Cool for muscle men, bare knuckle brawlers, and gym teachers. Physical instrument is not only your muscles and your skeleton, it is your ability to use them effectively. It enables you to do push-ups, sit-ups, knockout punches, and 360-degree spin kicks. It's a one-size-fits-all solution to thriving and surviving in a physical world. At high levels, physical instrument breaks doors, chains, and bones, and it makes you laugh at the namby-pansies who can't. You'll be manned up, encouraging others to curl iron until they're manned up too. At low levels, however, you'll have a hard time arresting anyone who isn't infirm or already dead. Indeed, engaging in physical confrontations could leave you in either state. So, as we play, physical instrument will need to go up because, as the game says, otherwise you will be unable to do anything. Kitsuragi might be able to do some of these things, but based off of the artwork of the 2 characters I've seen, Kitsuragi seems a bit more of a like a supporting partner rather than one that would take the lead and deal with all your fights for you. So we'll think about that as well later. Electrochemistry. Go to party planets, love and be loved by drugs. cool for high flyers, party enthusiasts, and cops who need lightning. Electrochemistry is the animal within you, the beast longing to be unleashed to indulge and enjoy. It enables you to take drugs with fewer negative side effects. It also enables you to better investigate lurid matters. If you need to understand a chemical breakdown, or talk to someone blasted out of their mind, or understand sexual dynamics, electrochemistry is there to guide you. At high levels, electrochemistry makes you a man of unrestrained pleasure, an unrepentant Lothario who leers at people with a bottle of speed and a plastic bendy straw in either hand. With a low electrochemistry, you'll be too innocent to be effective. Without a working knowledge of drugs and sex, the city will be difficult to understand. So I would consider myself to have a low electrochemistry. I am a golden boy, as my family like to describe me as. But yeah, this one, again, I don't know how important it would be. You know, being a cop and detective, you need to understand all those things, but to what extent, I don't know how necessary it will be. We'll find out. Shivers. Raise the hair on your neck. Tune in to the city. Cool for city lovers, the wisest of the streetwise, and the genuinely supernatural. Shivers come when the temperature drops and you become more keenly aware of your surroundings. It enables you to hear the city itself, to truly belong to the streets. It is a supernatural ability. Old wrongs play out in present time, scenes across the city happen in front of you, but who is speaking to you? At high levels, shivers may make you seem mad to the outside world. As you listen to the city, you don't listen to others. Your superiors may begin to worry. With the low shivers, you will seldom hear the city speaking to you, and if you cannot hear it, how can you ever save it? Being mad, or appearing to be mad, is never a good thing, especially when you want people to be convinced and persuaded by you. So, average shivers seems like it would be fine to me. Half-light. Let the body take control. Threaten people. Cool for high-strung investigators, shoot now, ask questions later cops, and surprise haters. Half-light is your fight or flight response. It enables you to sense the way situations are about to turn. It injects palpable fear into your heart. Fear that urges you to act before it's too late to ever act again. Fear that makes you frighten others. It is the aggression that lets you squeeze every last drop of information out of a witness. At high levels, half-light makes you ultra-attuned to the world. It is perpetual fear of your own shadow or someone else's name or scent. You'll be ready, always, to pounce and physically interrogate passers-by. At low levels, however, you'll find your survival instinct is lacking, and your methods limp-wristed. Those who respect violence will not respect you. So that is essentially, it's a form of paranoia. Being able to threaten people just makes people not want to work with you. And yeah, it's perpetual fear, which cannot be a good thing. So medium half-life seems good to me. And we've got Motorix hand-eye coordination, ready, aim, and fire. Cool for trick shooters, snipers, and jugglers. Hand-eye coordination loves the interactions between you and things that fly in the air. It enables you to catch coins from mob bosses, shoot straight, and understand firearms intimately. Want to know the precise make and mark of a pistol? Hand-eye coordination's got you. Want to shoot someone with it? Ditto. At high levels, hand-eye coordination makes you deadly, supposing you have a weapon in your hand. But once you do, it will compel you to take the shot, even if it's not the best approach. At low levels, you'll be even more of a disaster in waiting, because when the guns go off, and they always do, you'll probably hit the wrong target. So, being from the UK, I've never held a gun, I don't want to hold a gun. Hand-eye coordination, this, if it wasn't just about being able to fire guns and, you know, weapons mostly, if it was more like being able to do martial combat, I could see this being a good thing to focus on. But otherwise, I feel like that this is not one of my strong areas, so if anything, I would put points away from this and put it into something else. But I don't think I can do that. Perception. See, hear, and smell everything. Let no detail go unnoticed. Cool for fine detail detectives, centralists, and urban scavengers. Perception wants you to be open to the world, with eyes, ears, and nose working at full capacity. It enables you to take in what others don't notice. The little wad of bills hid away in the sugar bowl. The odor of a perp hiding beneath the floorboards. The gulp of a suspect after claiming they've nothing to hide. At high levels, perception takes in every final detail of the physical world, enough to overwhelm all but the strongest mind. However, with low levels, you're going to miss out on everything. After all, you can't arrest what you can't see, hear, or smell. So this goes pretty well with things like logic and visual calculus. So that could be an interesting one to put a signature skill in. And again, my experience of tabletop RPGs means that I basically don't know anything about these. I am assuming that the +4 is giving me a bonus to certain checks that happen. But perception's a good one to go for. Reaction speed, the quickest to react, an untouchable man. Cool for shot dodgers, thinkers on their feet, and pinball heads. Reaction speed is the agility of your body and mind. It is instinct. It enables you to dodge punches, knives, bullets. Also sucker punches of the verbal kind. You'll be more streetwise, never lost for words or lacking a witty comeback. Your mental alacrity lets you connect little details on the fly, working in tandem with your intellect skills. At high levels, reaction speed makes you twitch reflex freakishly good. However, when your body acts before your mind, innocent situations can turn bad fast. You're high-strung, overly alert. At low levels, though, you won't be the one shooting first, which probably means you won't be shooting at all. That's a good thing to keep in mind. It's like the Han Solo Greedo thing of Han shot first. Because Han had that streetwise perception of Greedo wants to shoot me, he obviously turned the situation against him and shot him first. And then obviously, you know, George Lucas retconned that and made it different to make Han a bit more of a hero, but that's not what Han's character is about. So this one, I guess, in real life, I don't think my reaction speed's that good, so probably keep that as average if I can. Savoir-faire, sneak under their noses and stun with immense panache. Cool for acrobats, thieves, and unbearable show-offs. Savoir-faire urges you to be better than you are. It urges you to be disco. Split by others in Samaran boxing style, and tumble out the back with unexpected acrobatics. It enables you to move the silent footsteps, to groove to a good beat, and to lift useful evidence off perps without them noticing. It also makes you a cooler cop, whose athletic flair will certainly impress the citizenry. At high levels, savoir-faire will make you the king of cool, which is as much to say the most stylish douchebag in Revachol. Nobody will see you until you're ready to be seen, and then they'll get the full treatment whether they want it or not. At low levels, however, you'll be a bumbling, feckless cop, unable to catch a pair of keys thrown by a partner without losing an eye. So, I'm not the king of cool, or at least I don't think I am. I don't have much athletic flair. This is kind of what I was thinking about hand-eye coordination, in that, you know, it's more martial art style, you know, hands and feet rather than weapons, but I'm not very acrobatic myself. So, I mean, I feel like I'm not bumbling, but yeah, I think average to below average on this would fit me. Interfacing, master machines, pick locks and pockets. Cool for machinists, tinkerers, and instrument players. Interfacing wants you to connect to machines, to use and improve them, because that makes you a better human organism. It enables you to understand interactions with machines, be that how to repair the motor of a Kanema motor carriage, how to analyze the way a suspect used a pen, or how to refigure electrical circuits. It even lets you steal keys off a keyring without being noticed. At high levels, interfacing will isolate you from society. Why bother with people when you can talk to machines? And why bother with things like money when you can just pocket that display sandwich? At low levels, however, you'll have a crucial part of the world cut off from you. People use machines to commit crimes all the time. If you can't understand how a crime was accomplished, how can you solve it? So with this, I feel like I would be one of those people that prefers to talk to machines. Like, you go to the self-checkout at a supermarket, people, you know, you can do things better yourself when dealing with a machine than having to talk to another person, in my opinion, or at least that's my experience. But the idea of being a nimble, quick thief and picking locks and pockets, I mean, if there's no people involved, picking locks is fine. When it comes to people having to actually being able to sort of, you know, use subterfuge, that's not quite as good. But yeah, I think for interfacing is great for myself. And the last one is composure. Straighten your back, keep your poker face. Cool for card players, military fetishists, and cool people. Composure wants you to not crack, or at least it wants you to not crack in front of other people. It enables you to put up a strong front. It keeps your emotions hidden from the world and helps you to read the body language of others, to sense the cracks in their own composure. As well, it keeps you looking good while you do it. You'll rock that disco outfit a lot more if you don't slouch. At high levels, composure makes you tuck your gut in and maintain a stern expression, even lying in bed late night when no one else there can see you. You'll have to keep it up. You'll never be able to stop. With low composure though, you'll always be the first to crack. Every cop's got a point when all that fear and rage comes spilling out, and the ones who unleash it don't stay on the force much longer. Perhaps worse still, you won't even make the ranks of the fashion police. So this, I feel like I'm fairly good at keeping emotions hidden from other people. Just like being stoic. But being a poker face, like being able to lie to people, is not as much. But lying, I guess, comes under some other things, like, let's see. Maybe it was perception, or was it drama? Yeah, that was drama, wasn't it? Lie and detect lies. So, yeah. I feel like I would be better at composure than drama. But, to be honest, I was already thinking of these before playing, and I think logic or visual calculus fit the best. And, you know, being the classic Sherlock Holmes style detective, visual calculus makes the most sense to me. We will set this as our signature skill. We get an intellect base of +5 and a signature skill of +1. So we have 6 points in that area. So, yes, it seems like the stats we put in at the start of the game give us the base, and the signature skill gives us a +1. So 5 was great, and I think 6 is considered to be genius. But it could go all the way up to 12, I don't know. Okay, let's confirm, and we'll actually start playing the game.